Hope you guys are hearing me. Oh. So today we'll talk on supply and demand and POI. POI. What is a POI? Who has any idea of what a POI is? What is a POI? What is a POI? Now, a POI is what we call a point of interest, right? So let's have a POI. POI. And you want to look at what POI is. Now, under POI, where did that thing go? So you have here as what? POI. Now, under POI, we have what we call QMR. We have what we call supply levels. We have what we call demand levels, all right? Then we have what we call order blocks. Then we have what we call fair value gap. So this is what we'll be looking for under POI. Now, what is a QMR? Now, first, you want to know POI is called what? A point of interest. Now, these are those points where you want to see market giving you what? A reactions. You get. You want to see market giving you buy reactions, sell reactions from those points of interest. You get those points of interest where you're looking out for buys and where you're looking out for sells. Now, we said in our advanced market structure, you want to look out for what? A sweep of liquidity, break of structure to the upside, inducement, another break of structure. You want to see price giving you what? A pullback into taking out what? Structural liquidity at this point and giving you what? The expansion to the upside. So we have here as what? Your inducement or structural liquidity, and we have here as what? Your protected low. Now you can decide to draw your POI from this sweep of liquidity, right? From where we had this sweep, something like this. Now, if you're drawing your POI from here, this is what we call what? The QMR. You're drawing it from where we have what? The field order block. Get. Then someone can now decide to draw his or her own from here. Sorry. Yes. From here. So we have here as what? Inducement again. Then we have here as what? Protected low. Now someone can decide to draw his POI from what? This order block or demand level. Let's say the sweep of liquidity. Sometimes the sweep of liquidity might be far away. Something like this. You might have your sweep of liquidity somewhere around here. So you might not even have a space you get to draw your QMR perfectly well. In such cases, you tend to do what? You tend to choose what? Your order block, the last candle before the buy, the last sell candle before the buy. That's what your order block is, right? This, which is this one. You're talking about order blocks. You get. So you have your order blocks to be something like this. You have a sell candle here. Then you have what? You have this buy. And price just keeps doing what? Buying to the upside. Now, your order block should be what? Your order block should be this sell candle right there. So you want to take your order block from what? This sell candle here. For those who don't know order block. This last sell candle before the buy happened, right? So this is how you want to choose what? Your order blocks. Now, you choose your order blocks for what? Your order block can be called a demand level. Your order blocks can also be called what? A supply level. And this can also be called, can also look at this as what? A demand level. You get, this is the level where price will come and give you what? that point where price will buy from. So now what do I now want to look out for in my POI? Now when price comes to my POI, or let's say when price comes to my demand level, I'm going to use this one because for me, most of the times I don't even use QML. I work with what? Demand levels and other blocks. Now, for me, when price comes to what? My 5 minutes demand level or 5 minutes what? Other block. I want to look out for what? My candlesticks patterns. Now, it's not for me, how I enter a trade is not just price coming to my POI and I praise buy. No. What I want to see now is what? Price giving me what? My candlesticks pattern in this level. Now, you all know that the opposite of what I'm doing is what is the supply level. Now, if you're looking out for sell, it means we are looking out for what supply zones, right? So for those, if you're looking out for sell right now, we're looking out for sell here. Let's say we have what we have is sweep of liquidity. How would I draw that? I want to see price do something like this. So you have it as what structural liquidity. Then you have this as what your supply zone, the other block, supply other block, right? So is this the opposite of what I'm drawing, right? Is what we'll have. So we are using the bullish scenario. So what I'm saying is that I want to see price giving me what my candlesticks pattern at way, my 5 minutes what other block level or what demand level. So even if I have this one, even if I draw something like this, you get, even if I draw something like this, I will definitely come and select what that 5 minutes demand level. Sometimes you see that price mostly respects this, you get, and gives you what your sniper. So now take for instance, you now have this as what you now see this setup on what the 2 hours time frame, or let's say your higher time frame setup. How do you now want to scale down? Now, if you have a higher time frame setup like this, take for instance, this is a higher time frame setup, higher time frame setup, right? Now, in every higher time frame setup you definitely have what? You definitely have the lower time frame setup. So you will see something likely like this will happen. You have the higher time frame setup. Your 5 minutes, let's say you choose your 5 minutes. Inside you see your 5 minutes, inside is your higher time frame POI. There's always what? A 5 minutes POI that will give you what? Your sniper entry. Know that you're looking for your entry on what? The 5 minutes. So let's say you see a setup on the 2 hours. You have to go down to what? The 5 minutes time frame, right? To look out for what? Entries. So now if I have this as my 2 hours analysis, I'll need to go down inside this POI that I drew. I'll see another what? I'll see another 5 minutes POI that I'll take what? My sniper entry. Now, is that 5 minutes POI that will give you what? Your sniper entry with what? Your candlesticks pattern confirmation, right? Your candlestick confirmation pattern to take the trade. To avoid what? To avoid unnecessary drawdowns. So now, most times in my POI, I love to see what? I love to see fair value gaps. Now, take for instance, we have a fair value gap here. I want to see fair value gaps way above my POI. Okay. So now you now know that price is coming to do what? Fill that fair value gap, tap into your POI and give you what? A confirmation entry. So you now see that there is a reason why price is coming to what? Your POI. You get to fill the fair value gap and do what? Reacts from what? Your 5 minutes time frame. You understand? So now let's do a quick check on what? On the market. Let's see what we have. Okay. Let's check V25s. I think I have something on V25s. No, it didn't. I've not really entered trades this week, Sha. I've not really seen anything good in the market. But let me check if I can see something to use as an explanation for you guys. Right? So yep. This is V50s. V50s. Is there anything on V50s? No. Let's check V10. Let me check V10. Okay, now I think this is the setup I have of V10, right? Now, if you check this setup I have on V10, we have a sweep of liquidity here. Our sweep of liquidity is what? Intact. We have what? We have the break of structure at this point. We have our break of structure there. Then you saw that price came back, retraced. The price gave us what? A 50% retracement. Yes, it did. It gave us what? A 50% retracement. So our 50% retracement is what? Intact. So I want to spot this out as what? My structural liquidity. Then we have what? We have our second break of structure here to the upside. So that means this is what? An A plus setup. Now you guys saw where I marked out for my POI, right? Saw where I marked out the box for my POI. I marked out the last buy, the last sell candle before the buy, which is what? My order block. Now in this order block, we had a fair value gap here, but price has already what? Price has already filled that gap. You get, we had a fair value gap here. Now this is what I want to see. I always want to see this fair value gap above what? My order block. But this one, I think price has already filled it. Can see it here. But I'm still looking at the POI, right? So now some people now would have drawn their POI from where? From here. Now, this is, if you wanted to draw your POI, this will now be what? This will now be a QMR. If you're drawing from what we have, what? Your failed order block. That is the sweep of liquidity. Now, this is what? Your QMR. So you might have this POI here as what? Your QMR. So what price did is that price came all the way, took out what? Structural liquidity and bought to some point here, and it's already reversing. So I'm still expecting price to do what? Come all the way down to what? These are our POIs that we have here and give us what? The buys. Do you understand? Give us what? The buys. Now, this happens most of the times. Price will just come, take out your what? Structural liquidity and buy and even smash your TP. You get. But you need to be patient to see if price will come. Now, if price is coming down to what? Our POI, what do I want to see? Candlestick pattern. You get, so that I can take the trade to the upside. And you can see this first one is what? Your QMR, and we have this one as what? A 5-minute order block. You get. Now let's check for another pair. V25. V25. Now it's all V25. What the V25? We have a sweep. You guys have marked out my sweep. Now you can see this one I marked out from what? From my QMR. What V25 is doing is that V25 just created what? It just created liquidities for us, right? Created liquidities for us. So we'll take this as what? Probably a structural liquidity. So I want V25 maybe later to come reverse, come down to this our POI and still give us that buy. Now if we check this our POI, why do I want Why do I want V25 to come all the way down? Now you see this our POI. What does our POI has? Our POI has what? A fair value gap again. So this is what I'm drawing from what? My QMR. Our POI has what? This fair value gap here again. We have what? The fair value gap. You get. So I'm drawing from what? My QMR. Now this is not where our sweep of liquidity is. I think this is where our sweep of liquidity is. Let's delete that one. We have our sweep of liquidity here. This point. I hope everyone is seeing it. So I'm drawing my POI from where we have what? The failed order block. That's where we have our sweep of liquidity, and price just gave us what? Structural liquidity to the upside. So now I'm expecting V25 to see what? Still come back to what? These are POI, and maybe give us what? The expansion to the upside. You get. So now this POI is where I want to see what? those candlesticks patterns is what is going to help me stack, because for me, I stack on all my trades. You get, so before I can enter any trade, I need to see those candlesticks patterns so that I can be able to do what stack on those trades, right? So that's that POI. Any questions? Still checking for more. V100 is, what's V100 is doing? Okay, so I had this buy POI on V100 is, but it's saw what price did. Price ignored us and boom to the upside. It happens most of the times. You get, price just ignored us and we missed that buy. You get, we missed that buy. We missed that buy. That serious buy on V100s. Any questions? Let me entertain questions on POI. POI, demand level, supply level, all of that. So we have our sweep. All these setups are simple things. You get just doing the same thing all over and all over again. Structural liquidity here. Second break of structure here. You get, mark out your second break of structure. Where's your first break of structure? So this one is still an A plus setup. First break of structure, second protected low, somewhere around here. You get. So but the 100 days has left us behind. That's left us behind. Let's check V150s. Nothing really happening on V150s. Okay, this is V50. So V50 ignored my POI. The same thing again. V50 ignored my POI and smashed TP. You get, that's why I've not really seen trades this period. You get, this week, not this period, this week. This was the TP. You get, now this was what? This is a B plus setup. You saw that what do you have? You have only one break of structure here. This is a B plus setup, right? So you have now you can see the structural liquidity. If we were in yesterday's in our last market structure class, you saw when I spotted out this market structure. So all these things are very simple. If you can see it, you get, then you're good to go. So we say we can have something like this. Now this is what was supposed to happen, right? Price will come, react from what this 5 minutes. You saw what I did. It's all the way I marked out my own. You get, so we have a sweep here. Price will give you a sweep, then give you what? Give you one break of structure, which is what happened on V50. So price just ignored us, came all the way, took out the structural liquidity and just bought up, smashed TP and see. But it's reversing back. Hopefully it comes respect our POI. So it's as simple as that. Go study your market structure models very well so that you can see these things very clear. Okay, over to questions. What time frame do you start? I start my analysis from the daily time frame. When marking out QMA, what candlestick am I to draw from? It's simple now. You're just drawing from, let's say you have let's say we have this, you have sweep, break of structure, this, blah blah blah. You get. Now initially this was supposed to be what? This is your sweep now. You get. Oh fuck. And that is your sweep. I'm just drawing from this candle. You get candle there. Now you know that this was a failed order block. Let me use something let me use the chart to explain that. Which chart will I use? Okay. Now let me just delete what I have on V50. Now just look at my explanation here. Now we have this as what? A sweep. This is a sweep of liquidity here. Again, that's a sweep of liquidity. Now, this is a buy that was supposed to happen, right? Price was supposed to respect this basic market structure and just buy up. Now you're seeing this other block. This was an other block price was supposed to respect and buy from. You get, but price came all the way, swept the other block, failed the other block, and did what? Move to the upside. Considering this as what? A sweep of liquidity. So you're drawing your QMA from where we have what? The failed other block. You understand? Drawing it from there. Probably I mean, who knows whether this is where V50 might buy from. Because we still have what? We still have a structural liquidity which it has taken out. And he gave us what? My confirmation. Now you can see why I love waiting for price to give us what? My confirmation. Yes. So you have what? That zero drawdown. But I'm not sure V50 will buy from me. I'm still expecting it to come all the way downwards. You get. So that is how you draw your QML from a failed order block. Please, what are the candlesticks? Let's when we get to candlesticks pattern, we'll talk on that. What's the most effective way to look for POI? I've shown you the most effective way to look for POI. Showing you the two most effective ways to look for what? A POI. Get. So that's that on that. That's that. Now look at this setup. I think I have this setup on V. You have a sweep of liquidity here. Now, this is what? My order block. Now you can see, why will I not choose this order block again? Because it has what? It has been mitigated. Now, once you're choosing your order block, if you've seen that your order block has been mitigated, like it has been tapped into, know that that order block is not likely to hold. No, it's not going to hold because it has already been made use of. So you want to select other blocks, demand levels, supply levels that price has not tapped into before. Please note that. Please note that. So that you don't tend to tap unnecessary demand levels or unnecessary supply levels. Tap the one that price has not yet tapped in from. You get. So that's that POI. Let me just check some few pairs. Okay. V75 has been selling and selling and selling and selling and selling. So nothing really good for now. I just have to wait till I see price gives me what a setup and perfect entry. V250 is nothing really happening. So that's that for POI class. You get. Let me go look at you guys' assignments. So I'll drop the recording on the group immediately after the class so that you could come back and watch the recording. So there are no rules guiding mitigation. Just make sure that the order block or demand level you're choosing, price has not already tapped into it. Because if price has tapped into it, what it's trying to say is that it has made use of that order block already, or it has made use of that demand level already. You get. What if a sweep happened with a week? I don't understand that question. What if a sweep happened with a week, not an order block? This will knock out from the BB. Bruh, please send your question as we chat. Let me understand. I don't know what you're typing. Oh. Why don't you consider trains? How about they consider trains? Oh, all this market like this, I know they are trains. If you ask me, I know they are trains from A to Z. I know they are trains. Which one is why don't you consider trains? Don't worry. Once you get to top the analysis, that's when we'll be going to the higher time frame. So mark out key levels. Then we'll know the higher time frame trend, and you come down to the lower time frame. You get all these things I'm marking out. I know they are trains already. So that's that for that. Have a nice day, everyone.